Human trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery. Victims are often lured under the false pretenses of good jobs and better lives, and then forced to work under brutal and inhumane conditions. Many believe that human trafficking is a problem that only occurs in other countries, but human trafficking also happens here, in our own neighborhoods.
Human trafficking is one of the most heinous crimes that we investigate, where traffickers prey on vulnerable populations.
When I learned I was coming to America, I was happy I was coming to America.
Oh, it's America. It's a land of opportunity, and I grabbed the opportunity to come here.
They told me they will take care of everything, my paperwork and everything. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
They use them as a commodity, holding them against their will, using force, fraud, or coercion for the purposes of forced labor or commercial sex.
And then she asked me my passport. Where is do you have your passport? Yeah, yes, I have it. And then she take it. I will take care of this. And then I trust her. Oh, okay.
When I was with them, I never thought that I will leave them and I will have my freedom again for a very long time.
Many victims don't realize that they have rights and protections in the United States. One such protection that victims of human trafficking may be eligible for is the T visa. The T Nonimmigrant Status, or T visa, provides immigration protection to victims of severe forms of trafficking who assist law enforcement in the investigation or prosecution of human trafficking cases. Often, victims are afraid to come forward and worry that law enforcement will bring them back to their traffickers.
The traffic lights, those cameras, they will point them to us, to me, and tell me that you see those cameras, the police are checking on you. So if you try to escape or try to run away, they will still catch you.
Every time when we go out, like, oh, when you go out, be careful with the police. They might be arrested you, or don't find any friend. Like, don't be a friend. Don't talk to neighbor. Don't talk to the people, or they're gonna call the police. And I was scared because I don't have nowhere to go at that time.
My role as a special agent investigating these crimes is to identify someone who's been a victim of human trafficking, assist that victim, rescuing them from the situation, helping them connect with different services that they have, and that they regain their, freedom of will.
They told me, like, don't worry, just tell the truth. Just tell what's going on and we will help you.
When the FBI asked me if I wanted to live with them or I wanted to stay back, and when I told them that I wanted to live with them, and they told me, okay, let's go up and collect your things, that's when I felt a little bit relieved knowing that I'm going to leave that family.
Once law enforcement is involved, victims can petition for a T visa through USCIS. Victims are not required to be in legal immigration status to be eligible for a T visa, but they must be a victim of a severe form of trafficking in persons, be physically present in the United States on account of the trafficking, comply with any reasonable requests for assistance in the investigation or prosecution, or be under the age of 18 or suffer trauma, and suffer extreme hardship involving unusual and severe harm if removed from the United States. To apply for a T Nonimmigrant Status, applicants must file Form I-914, Application for T Nonimmigrant Status. Qualifying family members may also be eligible to apply for immigration benefits. Visit www.uscis.gov/human trafficking or call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center at the number on your screen for information on how to get help. If USCIS grants T Nonimmigrant Status, the applicant will automatically be eligible to work. The T nonimmigrant visa is valid for 4 years, and a visa holder may be eligible to apply for permanent residence with a green card after 3 years in a T nonimmigrant status.
Human trafficking is a particularly difficult crime to investigate because victims of trafficking don't normally self-identify, and also because it's a crime that's hidden in plain sight. Traffickers operate in an underground society. They isolate their victims. They oftentimes take their identity documents. They assure that there's no communication between family and friends. So it's hard for us to identify those victims, which is why we often ask the public to be aware of those different indicators, and if they see them, to report that suspicious activity.
She started telling us not to talk to anybody. We were not supposed to talk to anybody, or we are not supposed to use her phone to call anybody.
And then days pass, and then week, and then when I realized I haven't got a day off, I haven't stopped working, I was thinking, who's gonna believe me? Like, what I'm thinking is she has a paper, like she's a citizen, and me, I'm just like, I don't have any paperwork, and I was feel like they're gonna believe her, not on me.
I used to work 7 days a week. I didn't have any days off, and we had to stay up late until around 3, and we had to be up and ready by 6 in the morning. Every single day.
There are several human trafficking indicators that people can be aware of. Do you know someone who isn't allowed to control or possess his or her identification and travel documents, is forced to perform sexual acts, cannot freely move, contact family or friends, or socialize, has been threatened that they or their family will be harmed if they try to escape, has been harmed or deprived of food, water, sleep, medical care, or other life necessities? Is the victim a juvenile engaged in commercial sex? If you do see any of these indicators, call the Human Trafficking Resource Center at 1-888-373-7888. You can also contact the center for help in getting a T visa.
I start work with my lawyer, like telling the story and the interview, and to apply the visa. Now I got my T visa, and now I still continue working without doubt. And now we're looking forward to applying the green card. I was so happy in that time. So finally, I'm legal. You know, I'm not, like I could be able to find a job now.
I got my green card in July. I'm still working at the same place. I've been working since 2009. I'm planning to go home soon for a visit, and then when I come back, then I'll like to start school.
If there was a message I could tell victims, it would be to not be afraid to come forward, to call 911 if you are in harm's way, to know that you have rights under the law in the United States, and if you see suspicious activity, to please report it.
Together, law enforcement, community organizations, and people like you can help end human trafficking. Call the National Human Trafficking Resource Center at the number on your screen to report human trafficking and for other inquiries. For more information, visit www.uscis.gov/human trafficking.